we agreed with the leadership of Parliament here that under the leadership of President Nyusi, they will also expedite the instrument that will bring COMESA, SADC, and EAC into one trading bloc under the tripartite free trade area agreement. Because bringing together the three economic communities, EAC, SADC, and COMESA, will build a market of close to 720 million people with a GDP of $1.3 trillion, and therefore we will give ourselves, as about 28 countries, an opportunity to trade within ourselves, eliminate barriers, reduce bureaucracy, and also tear down unnecessary impediments to business people, to trade, to investment, to the movement of goods. And Your Excellency, I am confident that under your leadership, we should be able to conclude the signing and the ratification of the tripartite treaty by end of this year, so that we can give ourselves the opportunity to move our region and our continent forward. Also, I had the occasion to share with them the instruments provided to us by the Afri-Exim Bank that would make it much more easy for the people in this room, the business people, to be able to trade, to be able to conduct their business without the baggage of currency differences, that it should be possible with the settlement instruments that have been put in place by our own continental institution, the Afri-Exim Bank, that we can trade in local currency, that business people from Angola can sell to their counterparts in Kenya without having to bother in what currency they are trading. Again, Mr. President, it will be an opportunity for us as policymakers and the ministers of trade, the ministers responsible, including our central banks, are listening, so that we can make it easier for us to trade. And there is reason for us to do this, because today, Africa, we are way behind in trading amongst ourselves. If you go to Europe, intra-European trade is at 70%, but intra-Africa trade is only at 16%. It means there is huge scope, there is big potential for us to trade amongst ourselves. The private sector, therefore, is an indispensable component of our economic transformation agenda. The private sector economy is the lifeblood of all development, and the business community of any country forms a critical constituency in unlocking opportunities and creating positive change. It is therefore highly encouraging to witness the mobilization and robust engagement that has taken place between our two private sector teams. And as government leaders, similarly, we did engage in the same exercise ever since I arrived here yesterday. I note that the Mozambique Kenya Business Forum has been thoroughly engaged in exhaustive deliberations aimed at clarifying the profile of opportunities in our two countries. I am happy to note that your discussion on the legal framework governing investment and business opportunities also included the bilateral instruments that have been developed and those that are underway, because such updates determine stakeholder perspectives on the size and shape of the opportunities ahead of them. I have also noted that your panel discussions cover subjects that align very well with all our aspirations as governments in our region. It is important from each standpoint that our economic governance framework resonates with opportunities that will be unlocked by complementarities between Kenya and Mozambique. We want Mozambique business to thrive because of the way Kenya and Mozambique are strategically aligned. And we also want Kenyan businesses to perform better because of that collaboration. I am very happy, Your Excellency, you mentioned the opportunities that are available in this country for investment. And when I spoke to the private sector in Kenya, and I asked them to accompany me as I came here, it is because all we do, the private sector provides a multiplier effect and gives it focus and stature, and they can build on it to achieve the aspirations that we all have. Our focus on opportunities must therefore be sharp and resolute, and for this reason it is important for us to attend to the immense opportunity that comes with regional and continental integration. And I want to persuade the business people in this room that yes, it is good for us to have bilateral relations between Mozambique and Kenya, but I want to ask you to look beyond our two countries. We have a whole 1.4 billion people in the continent of Africa. Any business person knows what those numbers mean. The instruments we are putting in place, whether it is the tripartite agreement, whether it is the continental free trade area agreement, or the pre-exim settlement facilities we are putting in place, will give us an opportunity, give our business people an opportunity to escalate intra-African trade to where other regions are. In Asia, it's at 60%. In Europe, it's at 70%. But in our continent, it's only at 16%. It tells us we have huge opportunity and potential. And as we pull as the policymakers, I hope you will be pushing as the private sector, because in the end, it is our collective responsibility that all policies that we put in place is in pursuit of a greater value and must plug into the possibilities defined by policy to unlock opportunities, create value, create jobs, and also create wealth. The implicit consideration is a common denominator of vision for domestic economic governance agenda, bilateral engagements, as well as regional and Pan-African economic integration. I am looking forward to the day that we all can move together and that our continent can move at the same speed as others. I was very pleasantly happy today morning, Your Excellency, when I visited the industrial park. And I saw the opportunities to add value to local products, to create jobs, and to export finished products to Europe from Mozambique. That was a very exciting moment for me. When I engaged the person who was running this facility, he also told me something very interesting. And they told me that they were using hydro energy, which is green energy. Again, it speaks to our assertion that Africa cannot continue to be a continent that is victim to climate change. We must redesign and we must recast and we must re-engineer our place, that this is not a continent of problems. This is not a continent where we are saddled with a victim mentality. This is a continent that can provide solutions to the global challenges that we have. And I am very confident, looking at what I saw today in Mozambique, that it is true that Africa can provide the green manufacturing and the green industrialization that the globe so desperately needs for us to escape from the existential threat posed to us by the use of fossil fuels and the attendant effects of climate change. I am very confident that shortly we shall reform our continental body so that we have a body that is fit for purpose and that can serve the people of our continent adequately. Let me also say that I commend my brother, President Nyusi, for his leadership in the United Nations Security Council, where they took over from Kenya. Your Excellency, your team in New York is doing a wonderful job, and we are very proud. We are very proud of what Mozambique is doing in representing us as a continent in the UN Security Council, and we are proudly associated with Mozambique in that respect. I commend all the organizations and officers who have worked so hard to make this forum a success and look forward to future engagements like this. I wish you well as you prepare to execute your next level strategy in light of the opportunities that have come to light on account of the friendship and partnership between Kenya and Mozambique. I know there is a little problem of language. We all have to struggle with the language in between there. But I think it's also an opportunity for those of us from Kenya to learn Portuguese, and for the people. And for you guys here to learn Kiswahili and English. And you don't need any tutor or teacher. President Nyusi is both fluent in English and also in Kiswahili. So my visit has enabled us to strengthen our friendship and to deepen the bilateral ties between Kenya and Mozambique. We've had the opportunity to reflect together, and we took a bit of time yesterday to review our common position in considering many emerging challenges and opportunities, and reaffirm our shared commitment to extend our highly dynamic and fruitful partnership to address many aspects of mutual interest for the benefit of our people and our nations. Our Joint Permanent Commission for Cooperation has been working hard, and I commend both teams. They have expended time and effort and gave us the opportunity, my brother President and I, to witness the signing of 8 instruments that would elevate the relationship between our two countries. To the next level. Many of the aspects that were signed yesterday, including the security of our countries, that now going forward, we've done many things together in the past, but now going forward, we have a firm memorandum of understanding on matters of security. As you're all aware, Mozambique and Kenya share a region that has violent extremists, terrorists, people who engage in organized crime, and we've been working together, but I am very confident going into the future that with the instruments that we signed yesterday, that will facilitate us to share more information, intelligence and otherwise, share capacities, engage in joint training, we can better secure our region and provide stability for our economies and our business people to thrive. It is a very proud moment for me that now we will have the leverage to better discharge our responsibilities as governments to secure our present and to guarantee our future. I look forward with great optimism to the ratification by all our regional blocs and friends of the TFTA to make it possible for SADC, EAC, and COMESA to be one trading bloc. The work of making our countries self-sufficient continues, but I must say that we are off to a very encouraging start. Let us move forward with greater determination since our purpose is clear and ensure that not a single opportunity escapes us. All of us must be razor focused on, and maybe laser focused on ensuring that we don't miss any opportunity. And I want to encourage all of us to view the opportunities in the horizon with African lenses, knowing very well that these are opportunities that are available to all of us. I urge you to always take into account the economies of scale that reside in the possibility of business partnerships and strategic collaboration with counterparts in our two countries and in the region, because therein lies the full implication of our bilateral relations and the economic integration agenda. Again, this morning I did ask the leadership of Parliament in Mozambique to also ratify the instruments that will consolidate the position of the Pan-African Parliament, because we equally have immense opportunity in the Africa Union. And for us to unlock the potential that exists in the Africa Union, we must have an organization that is fit for purpose, an organization that is accountable. We all know, seated here, that anybody who exercises authority has responsibilities. And when you have responsibilities, you must be held to account. There must be an accountability mechanism. The Pan-African Parliament today doesn't have the capacity to hold the Africa Union executive to account. And that is why, partly, we do not have an organization that is fit for purpose. The memorandum also went further on areas of agriculture, again, to share the capacities that we have in Kenya in the expertise in agriculture, and to share your own experiences in the space of blue economy and how we can use the opportunities that we have to unlock the huge potential, agricultural potential in our continent. As you all know, almost 65% of all arable land that is not cultivated at the moment is in our continent, and therefore the sharing of experience, the sharing of capacities to be able to unlock that potential is good for Mozambique, is good for Kenya, and is good for our continent.